Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Shine Ability Show. If you haven't been here before, my name is Robin Carberry. I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs in things like offer development, funnel strategy, launching, mindset, and more. But what I've discovered is that all of the strategies in the world are not going to help you if you don't know what truly sparks you and if your mindset is in the way of your success. What I love is helping Gen X women discover that spark, uncover that spark inside them, and start having fun conducting small Gen experiments in business, work, and life. So I come here live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to talk about how you can use Gen experiments in your own life to live the best version of your life. So the Gen experiment we are going to talk about today is escaping the judgment zone. So you know you are hanging out in the judgment zone if you don't go for the things that you want because you are afraid of what other folks are going to think or are going to say about you. So if that sounds at all like you, then no judgment here. That is completely normal human behavior for you to be concerned about what people think or what people say. On a biological level, fear of judgment stems from the need to be socially safe. So you survive, like it's a survival instinct. So it's natural for you to feel that fear, right? The question to ask yourself right now, today, about staying in the judgment zone is that keeping you safe from real, actual harm, or is it just holding you back? If it's holding you back, listen in. So giving power to potential judgment from others is like letting them tell you what to do with your body every day. So what if somebody that you don't know very well and maybe don't even like all that much said to you, "Hey, Robin, you need to come over and mow my grass today." Why? Simply because I think you should. Probably laugh at that, right? Like, who is that person to tell me that I need to come over and mow her grass? But when you decide not to act on something or try something new because you're afraid that people might judge you, you are giving them power over your mind, which is really no different than listening to the person who said, "Hey, Robin, come over and cut my grass." So if you let the judgments or potential judgments of other people dictate your thoughts and actions, then you are letting them define who you are and how you show up. So here's an example from my own life. People love to comment on and judge my hair color. And it's a pretty even split between the people who are like, "Oh, when are you going to go back to the fun hair colors?" Like, judgment implied. "You're not fun anymore, Robin." And then we have the other folks who are like, "Oh, thank goodness you went to blonde. You look so much better as a blonde." Judgment. You didn't look good with any of those fun hair colors. But the reason I played with the hair colors was all about me. Like, I wanted to experiment. I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to be seen. Even if being seen meant some people were going to call me out for like, that doesn't look so great. So just like that, blonde is also being about me. It's also about what I want right now. And it's much easier for me to do the blonde than it is to do all of the multiple hair colors. And I actually like it. So if I let all of those hair color judgments stop me from doing anything, like, I'd be pretty daggone stuck because there was no way I was going to make everybody happy. Shoot, I might not even have gone to the salon to get my hair cut at all if I let all those judgments stop me. So no matter what you do or don't do, you can't control what others think or say about you, and you are certainly not going to make everybody happy. The important thing to remember is that you can control how you feel about yourself and the actions you take. So now let's talk about how to escape from the judgment zone. Step 1, stop judging yourself. So you may actually fear what others are going to think or say about you because it brings all of the things inside of you and lays them out on the table, all of those things that you perceive to be wrong with yourself. Those other people might give voice to those things and then make them more true. So let's stop that right now. What I would like you to do is this small Gen experiment. Look at last week or this week, yesterday, today, and say, what is one thing that I did that was like really super freaking awesome that made me feel great? And And how can I do more of that? If that thing made you feel great, if that thing made you feel amazing and you rocked at it, like how can you do a little bit more of that in your life? Next, look at something that didn't go so well. And instead of letting the negative inner voice get all up in you about, oh, you suck, you didn't do that well, you're terrible. No, instead think about it this way. Okay, this thing didn't go all that well for me. Here's a couple of ways I can approach it. One, it didn't really matter that much, so I can just let that go. Two, maybe I can get some support around this. Like maybe this is something I can hire somebody to do, or maybe this is something I can lean on somebody to help me with. Or three, hey, maybe I actually need to get better at that thing, and here's some steps I can take to do it. So no matter which of those three things you choose, whether it's letting it go, getting somebody to help you with it, or making an action plan to get better, you are taking action and you are going to feel better about it as a result. So experiment that with that every day, every week. What did I do great? What do I need to work on? And then get the negative voice out of your head. Like take the power away from that negative voice. So step 2, recognize, and this is escaping from the judgment zone, step 2, recognize that it's an energy zap to try and change what other people think about you. And their thoughts really have more to do with them than they have to do with you anyway, right? So instead, focus your energy not on changing what they think, but instead on what you want to accomplish, who you want to help, the difference that you want to make. If you focus on those things instead of other people's thoughts, you are going to be way more positive. You're going to be way more hopeful. You're going to be way more happy, and you actually have a better chance of doing the things that you want to do. Step 3 for escaping from the judgment zone. Know that most people are really just too daggone worried about themselves and what other people think about them to spend much time or energy thinking about you or talking about you or judging you. So even if somebody tosses a negative judgment in your general direction, know that they probably didn't give it much thought. They may just not understand you. They may not understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. And if that's the case, then maybe that judgment isn't worth your time or energy, is it? So step 4, not 3, 4. Step 4 for escaping from the judgment zone. Think about who you have in your circle that you trust to provide feedback that is actually helpful and meaningful to you. And I say feedback, not approval, right? So it's not necessarily going to be the same person for all of the things in your life. You may have a friend who's really great with relationship advice, but not necessarily so good when it comes to your business or career because maybe she doesn't really understand what you do for a living. That's something I run into often. So decide who it is in your circle who's proven themselves worthy of giving you helpful, useful, meaningful feedback. And just as importantly, on what topics. Then selectively ask those folks for their thoughts when you need them, but don't ask for their approval. So that's it for today. I hope you Gen-Xperiment with escaping from the judgment zone for yourself, because I can't wait to see what awesome things you do once you've done that. So I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.